Every December, Trevor and Jess decorate their home for Christmas, and their daughter Maddie places the star on top of the tree. As Maddie grows older, she gradually loses interest in the tradition. A year after Trevor and Jess divorce, Trevor is living alone in Hertfordshire. His life is modest and difficult. His home runs on a coin-operated electricity meter, yet he still tries to keep his Christmas traditions alive. He eats candy from an advent calendar and even decorates his tree with a candy wrapper. When Jess calls, Trevor has to step outside into the cold to get proper phone reception. He cheerfully tells her how excited he is for his family to visit for the holidays, but Jess interrupts with unexpected news. She and Maddie will be spending Christmas in Barbados with her wealthy new boyfriend, who has even offered to pay for Maddie's college tuition. Trevor insists that won't be necessary, hiding the truth that he is deeply in debt. After the call, he turns off the lights on his Christmas tree in quiet sadness. Trevor works at a local school and helps organize the Christmas celebrations. The principal invites him for a final toast and reminds him that this is his last day on the job. When she asks if he has another position lined up, he admits that he doesn't. Soon after, a bell rings and Trevor rushes to the door, only to find a baby left in a basket. A teacher explains that one of the parents had agreed to lend their baby for the nativity scene, so Trevor places the baby in the manger and the show begins. During the performance, Trevor manages the music and sound effects while anxiously checking his phone. He learns that Maddie's college will cost far more than he expected. In the middle of the event, Trevor receives a call from a house-sitting company he once worked for, offering him a job. As he operates a rope to raise the star on stage, he tries to decline until he hears the pay. Shocked by the amount, he lets go of the rope, causing the star to crash onto the stage and frighten the children. Despite the mishap, Trevor becomes interested in the job, though he must attend an interview in London later that day. After the event, Trevor turns off the school lights and prepares to leave, but he hears a baby crying. The baby from the nativity is still there. He takes the child to the principal's office and tries calling the parents, but no one answers. Running out of time, Trevor visits the family's home, where the mother explains that her baby is sick and couldn't attend the play, meaning the baby left at school was abandoned. The principal is already leaving town. The police can't arrive for several hours, and social services promise to send someone later. While waiting, Trevor packs his bag, only to realize the baby has gone missing inside his house. He finds the child just in time, but when social services arrive, the baby disappears again. Mistaken for delusional, Trevor is left alone once more, with no other options and no way to leave the baby behind. Trevor takes the child with him to London. He arrives at a luxurious apartment building for his house-sitting interview and carefully hides the baby from the security cameras. Petra, the property manager, shows him the penthouse and explains the strict rules, especially that no guests are allowed. Trevor awkwardly conceals the baby throughout the tour, hiding bottles, stashing the child in unlikely places, and pretending strange noises are his own. By the time Petra leaves, Trevor realizes the job has already begun. Left alone, Trevor struggles to care for the baby in the extravagant apartment. He improvises diapers from expensive shawls, gives the baby a bath, and shops for formula and baby food, even weighing the child on a grocery scale. Social services eventually call to say they'll collect the baby the next day. That night, Trevor endures sleepless hours trying to calm the baby, finally succeeding by letting him suck on a champagne cork. The next day brings even more chaos. Trevor locks himself out of the penthouse, loses the elevator fob, forgets his phone, and chases help through the building. With assistance from neighbors and the cleaner, he eventually regains access just in time to stop the baby from disappearing down a laundry chute. That evening, Trevor leaves a message for social services explaining everything. Soon after, Maddie calls to say she's stranded in London due to a cancelled flight and admits she doesn't want to go to Barbados. She wants to spend Christmas with her dad. Before they can say much more, her flight is announced and the call cuts off. Later that night, Trevor hears the elevator open and footsteps entering the penthouse, signaling that yet another unexpected turn is about to unfold.
And their final goodbye before Luke left for war. Joan tells Luke how much she missed him and they kiss. The memories keep playing, and Luke has to watch how Larry proposed to Joan. He stomps out of the building in a huff, saying that Larry took advantage of a grieving woman. Joan tries to explain it wasn't like that, but he won't listen. Meanwhile, Larry rants about Luke because he's always telling people that he died in the war to look like a hero. Larry is afraid that he can't compete with such a beloved memory, manipulating Joan, saying she would have been happier alone. The men get in a really pathetic fight, and in the struggle, Larry's letter falls from his pocket. When they collapse, Larry says that he didn't know he died. He also thinks their kids would be happy to see them together again. Joan feels like he's manipulating her and an argument ensues. Joan reminds him that she's in a complicated situation, and Larry swears he would have waited for her as long as Luke did. When they return to land, Joan wants to enter the archives with Larry, but he refuses. He thinks a person can lose themselves in memories and wants to protect her, but Joan believes he's afraid of what they'll find. They sit on the shore and talk about their first date, so Larry explains he always wanted to make things better for her. In the junction, her to make a decision now, but Joan needs more time, so the coordinators take them away. Moments later, Karen visits Joan. Meanwhile, Larry tells Luke that he was right. He proposed on the dock because Luke always was the ghost he couldn't compete with. He wonders if he choked on the pretzel because he saw the wedding picture. In return, Luke admits he's very jealous of the life Larry built with Joan. The guys then share why their bodies chose these. Larry is wandering the junction because he still doesn't know where to go and discovers that Anna and Ryan are back together. Anna talks to Larry in private and tells him she's proud of him. She explains that she chose to stay in the junction because helping lost souls gave her purpose, and Larry helped her remember why she loves this job. In the mountains eternity, Joan and Luke start a new life together. They have fun on dates and befriend other souls. In the evening, they finally get to be naughty. After Luke falls asleep, Joan starts feeling some doubts and decides to visit the archives, where she watches the memory of the day she met Larry. During the next few days, Luke keeps taking Joan on all kinds of activities with other souls, but Joan doesn't have a good time. Every night, she visits the archives and revisits more of her memories with Larry. The archives clerk tells her it's not healthy to spend so much time there and that it's important to move on. One night, Luke says that this is truly the perfect life, and Joan doesn't know what to answer. The next morning, Luke announces he's booked another activity, and Joan finally breaks down. She says she made a mistake by choosing him, causing Luke to get angry and start yelling. Joan explains that she was the happiest with him because it was young, foolish love without the burden of mortgage, jobs, and kids. However, love is supposed to be more than that. It should include the bad moments too. She also thinks that Luke is in love with the Joan from 67 years ago and never moved on, but she's changed and isn't the same person anymore. Joan then announces she'll try to go back, even if it means risking getting caught. She cries as she tells Luke she did love him, but he walks away. Some hours later, Joan is trying to make a plan to escape while practicing with a knife. After thinking a lot about the situation, Luke comes back and agrees to be her distraction. The duo goes to the archives and Luke pretends to have a breakdown in front of the clerk. The guards are behind her, but she keeps on crawling until she appears on the train tracks. By walking down the tunnel, Joan manages to return to the junction. She tries to ask the receptionist about Larry, but at that moment she receives a wanted sign and Joan has to run again. In the booth area, she bumps into Ryan and Anna, who make her hide and tell the guards she went in the opposite direction. Then she asks them what eternity Larry went to, however the coordinators shock her with the answer. In the bar, Joan finds Larry working as a bartender. They share a drink and Joan asks Larry to come with her, but she warns him it may be dangerous because she's a fugitive. Larry agrees to do it anyway. Moments later, the couple is in an eternity that copies the neighborhood they lived in during their entire married life. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.